I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're delighted to introduce you to a very talented author by the name of TerriAnn Burch. She is the brilliant mind behind Together with God. This unique collection combines biblical narratives with contemporary challenges that children face. Rendered as captivating poems, these tales provide insight, guidance, and whimsical escapades, always with a foundation in faith. From flying to the moon to addressing real-life problems like bullying or parental divorce, the author ensures every poem centers around the divine. Enhanced by beautiful illustrations, this collection is a perfect addition to any bedtime story ritual. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight, and we ask you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel and purchasing her beautiful book. TerriAnn, thanks so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Glad to be here.
Oh, great to have you. Tell me a little bit about how you started writing Together with God.
Um, Actually, it's been something that's been in the works for many years, and I kept it in a book, and my fiance finally said, You need to send it in," and I didn't think it was good enough. And he said, "Yes, it is," and he got a hold of somebody and sent it in, and it was within days that they said, "We want to publish it." And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. And so they published it, and I was just really surprised. I've been writing since I was a teenager. It's something that it's a gift from God. He'll wake me up in the middle of the night with a poem, and it's just something that it's a gift that I've always had. And I love writing, and I've written people's vows. It's just something that I love to do, and kids are on my heart, and that's just where this one led me. And it's it just came to be. Just that's where God led it. So
Wonderful.
that's
Wonderful.
what happened.
A little inspiration, a little encouragement. And it got your work before the reading public, which is wonderful. Tell us a little bit about how you blended biblical stories with modern day challenges.
Well, I don't like the way the world is today with all the challenges that kids have, like the bullying, the drugs, and a lot of parents are absent from homes, and the kids don't get the guidance from their parents a lot of times, with parents working 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. And so I thought that maybe if I write it in a poem, they can read it and maybe help teach them that way and give them a little guidance, and at the same time backing that up with a little inspiration from God. So
absolutely. And your book, delves into whimsical fantasies, but it also tackles real life problems like bullying and divorce. How do you envision children and their parents using these poems as perhaps conversation starters?
Oh, I don't.
I guess at bedtime would be a perfect time. I mean, I guess if you're going through something like a divorce in the family or kids getting picked on at school, it might be nice to sit down with your child and have this poem to read to them and get your child's feelings. I mean, like I said, I think it's a good conversation starter, right?
Right, it is, because I have another one that I want to get published that also tackles other problems like racial issues, and the way people look different, and whether it be someone's weight or the way they dress or anything, just people looking different in any way. And so it helps people look at that, and kids to not judge people by the way they look.
Yeah.
And that's a good topic that parents could talk to their kids about not judging. And it's stuff like that parents could talk to their kids about, and to help them look at people differently in a more positive way instead of in a negative way, and teasing them, and maybe being not so nice to them. I should maybe put it that way.
Yeah.
um
Maybe it'll help
you know
children develop a little empathy for others,
right,
that they might
right,
have challenges that other people don't have.
right.
And
Maybe if they're in a wheelchair or something, and instead of laughing at them or something, help them out,
yeah,
see if there's
exactly.
something they can do for them, stuff like that.
Yeah, be the person who makes a difference. Be the person who invites the kid who's new to school to sit
Exactly,
at your lunch table or something. It could profoundly
exactly.
change that child's life, that's for sure. So these are great conversations to have with your child. Have you tested these
Right.
poems out on any kids?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
I
that.
said, have you tested these poems out on any children? Have you read them to some kids?
I haven't, but my friends have. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have any children
Yeah.
myself, so but my sister has given them out. She works at a bank, so she's given them out to friends and to people at her work, and my friends have given them out and have sent me pictures of kids reading them, and uh, I've gotten feedback from people about it, and it makes me cry.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
beautiful to see a child
if
holding your book. It's got to be very impactful.
my uh, goal is, if I can just touch one child,
Yeah.
if I can just lead one child to God,
Mm.
I've reached my goal. Just one person,
I
then
think you're going
I've
to
done my
affect,
job.
yeah, I think you're going to
So
affect many more than just one with your book. But like you said, one is a lofty goal, many more is even better. And I think you will. Your poems are all God-centered, of course, and faith-centered. Tell us a little bit about your own spiritual journey. Have you always been a religious person, a spiritual person?
yes, I have.
And was that part of your
Yes.
upbringing? Was that a gift from your parents?
Um, no, actually, it wasn't. Neither one of my parents. My father was raised in the church,
Hmm.
but as I was growing up, he did not go to church. My mother went to a Catholic school,
Hmm.
but when I was growing up, she did not go to church either. Neither one of them did. But yet they did not keep us from going to church, me and my sisters. And so, but we all went to church growing up.
Mm.
So, and I continued as I, grew up and into adulthood. So, um, I've always been I've always been a Christian growing up my whole life. So, it,
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, now you're sharing the gift of your faith with others through your work, which is great as well. Beautiful illustrations are contained within this book. Tell us a little bit about those.
um, I painfully went through lots of pictures, trying to find the correct ones to go with each poem, because I wanted to make sure they fit. And I wanted to make sure they went with each poem, um, because I think that made a difference. I wanted to make sure that they all worked together and they all made sense.
Mm.
Like Daniel, the one about Daniel, and when they went into what they were put into the fire, I didn't want to have something that didn't go with that one. So, I had to search and search and search for Four Men in a Fire
Yeah.
for that one. And it took me a while, but I had to find someone that had one to go with that. So it took me a while, but I wanted this to be right. I
Right.
wanted it to be accurate. Just like my scriptures,
Mm.
I went strictly from the Bible. I did
Mm.
not want to get that messed up.
Hmm.
I didn't want to be inaccurate in my scriptures. So I went strictly from the Bible. So,
Tell us about the title Together with God. Why did you entitle it that? And what do you mean?
uh, because I feel that when you're reading it, you are with God, you're together with Him, and I wanted it to be, you're bringing yourself together with Him, and that's I don't know,
No,
you're
absolutely.
together with
These are beautiful
you,
poems. They could be prayers, they could be devotionals.
right,
They're any way you want to look at them. They're great bedtime stories for your children. The name of the book is Together with God. It is written
right,
by TerriAnn Burch. It is a beautiful book. It has beautiful illustrations. It combines biblical narratives with the kind of stuff that children have to deal with today, and it will help them face those challenges with strength and spiritual guidance. It also tells some whimsical tales as well that your children will enjoy. And all of her poems have a foundation in faith. TerriAnn, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
thank you.
My pleasure. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight. And don't forget to purchase this book, Together with God. The links are below this interview.